All right, let's get into the cleaning. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is get yourself a container of alcohol. I have a two separate ones here that I use for my dabs and stuff. So I usually get my dirty it up here and then clean off, rinse it off with some nice alcohol. But get yourself some alcohol, something you can, because we're gonna do a lot of dunking today. This is gonna be a lot. This one gets kind of grimy. It looks pretty. It looks beautiful on the outside. You really, when you open it up, you don't see much dirtiness at all. But what's in here is nasty. I've been using this thing now for a couple weeks, and let me tell you, after about a week of heavy use, don't take me wrong, I put about 120 bowls through this thing, and we're gonna see what it looks like now after after not cleaning it for a bit. So let's get into it, right? First things first. Things you're gonna need for this thing is, like I said, alcohol, some wipes if you have them, some Q-tips. You can use glob mops as you want. Definitely gonna need your brush. If you have the glass adapter, which we'll talk about later, you're gonna need that too to clean up. But let's get into it. Very simple to open this thing up. We're gonna remove the top, the earpiece. This is basically all we're really gonna be working on right today. This is it right here. This is where all your nastiness. Now look, it looks perfect. It looks, I mean, it looks brand new. It's nothing. It doesn't look like anything on the outside. But let's get into it right now. First things first, you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to pop off the actual mouthpiece, and then this piece right here unlocks the inside. You're gonna use the back part of this thing right here. It's pretty ingenuity, the thing they use here. So it just pops out. Get that. Now everything that I'm gonna be taking out of here, I'm just gonna be dumping it right into the alcohol. Don't worry about it. Nothing's gonna damage it. By the time I get this clean, there's no damage gonna happen to there. Now, in order to get this thing separated, some people like to go in here and pry it with a screwdriver or whatnot. Here, I learned a little trick right here, right? You get it, you snap it on like you're gonna use it, and then you just pull up, and it comes right off. Now, immediately, you're gonna see right there, look at that, first piece of chunk of, you know, resin, old weed, whatever you want to call it, it's already there. So get yourself a nice little rag, you can start dumping that stuff on there. So now what I like to do is I like to get this out, put it aside. Look at this thing, first of all. Let's take a look at this. This thing right here has gotten, this is the dirtiest I've ever seen any one of my vapes. This is my favorite vape, but it actually gets really nasty. So when you open it up for the first time, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna start seeing some nasty stuff. Here, let me get in there with a little, check this out, look at this thing. Nice, you can get in here, and you're really pulling out like globs of just ABV, but really gooey. Look at this, this is disgusting. So it gets really nasty. I like to go in here first. Actually, you know what? Let's take a step back. Before we get in touching this thing, if you don't like your hands all gooey and nasty and sticky for the rest of the day, get yourself some nitrile gloves. These things are a lifesaver, man. I gotta tell you, I don't like to clean anything without them, just because the stickiness just gets kind of nasty, you know what I mean? So, I don't even know where the fingers are going. But anyways, get yourself a pair of nice nitrile gloves. Start dumping out the nasty residue over. Now you can just dunk this in there if you wanted to, it'll all just come out, but you know, I wanted to give you guys a nice little inside look of what's really going to be happening inside the Venty when you go to clean it for the first time. This is, I mean, all this is coming in because this is disgusting. So anyways, that you kind of see what's happening there. Really simple. If you want to take out the little plastic piece in here, all you got to do is go in here with the little, you can go in here with a Q-tip if you want to, and just pop it out. Comes out, drop it in. Don't worry about the seals. That's pretty much it for the air path. The air path is disgusting. And drop it in there, let it soak up for a little bit. Now let's take a look at the other piece. Look how nasty this thing gets. So you got the screen filled up with nastiness. So you won't, not to tell you that this is not gonna, you're not gonna feel the impedance of the airway that much around this nastiness, even though it's pretty disgusting. I didn't really notice a big deal with the airway. A little bit of restriction here and there, but it's disgusting. Let's go in there. Let's take out this little blue seal that it has in here. Dump that in there. Now, I don't like to take off this screen in here just because I think it's a pain in the butt, you know, to replace back and forth. But there is a screen here that you're gonna want to get. Now, I have a little tool here you can get. You can get this little tool that I have here, just to grab. Let me grab it today, is it? I guess not. It's too sticky. But if it doesn't want to come out, just dump it in. Let it do its thing. Give it a couple minutes. We're gonna go back to this one. Now, your brush, don't be afraid to get the brush dirty with alcohol. Nothing's gonna happen to this thing. It's not hard to clean this thing. It's just it's just dirty. It just gets really dirty. It's simple to clean. Everything just comes right off. You're just gonna hit it up with your brush and all the little corners, any little thing that had it stuck in. Keep dunking it in back and forth. You might get some alcohol splash here and there. It's not too bad. Don't worry about it. This is simple to clean, man. It's not hard. I was just stunned by how much shit was inside of it, if I have to be honest with you. So leave it dunking. Now over here, you're gonna want to, this screen is gonna eventually come out, right? So this little screen that you see right here, there's a little screen, I can't really get it out right now, but it'll come out as soon as it gets released with all the, actually there it goes, flew right out. So this screen is important. You're gonna see that it's pretty nasty, pretty gummed up. Right, just let it dump it in there, let it go. If you want, you can actually leave it submerged, going with your, though you don't get a lot of splashing here or there. That's what I like to do. I do you dump it and clean it underwater, under alcohol. You know what I mean? Simple to clean, not hard. Now there's a lot of little pathways in here that you're gonna start seeing. A lot of little pathways in here. You're gonna see that your brush is not gonna be able to reach. So just kind of spin the brush, kind of get it as much as far as possible as you can in there. Every corner will get cleaned eventually. It's just a matter of being persistent. Like, oh, look at this thing. Look how nasty that thing is in the back, right? Pretty disgusting. But underwater cleaning, you know how it is. Now look at the alcohol. Look how nasty the alcohol got from crystal clear. I just poured this alcohol brand new at the beginning. But it's just a matter of, like I said, it's just a matter of going back and forth with it. In the screen part, no. Take a look at the screen part, right? So in the screen part, you're gonna want it, there's a little rim that goes inside of here in the edges. You're gonna wanna get in there like a side action, just to kind of kill those out a little bit. You're not gonna be able to go in there with a brush to get the back side of it, but it'll all just eventually come out. And if I have to be completely clear and honest with you, this is, I mean, other than getting a little bit of residue off right now, this is almost done. So don't be too intimidated when you open it up for the first time. It does get nasty, but it's a simple clean. It takes about 5 minutes. You see how we are, we're doing it here. I'm actually explaining everything 2 years ago, but it's not easy. That's that hard to clean. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So what I like to do is, so after I've knocked off all the nasty stuff, right? All the left up resin and stuff, all the ABV. After it's done, I give it a nice little rinsing here, and then that's with this other, so it's like a 2 rinse bucket. If you ever wash your car with a 2 rinse bucket, a 2 wash bucket outside, where you wash the car with the dirty water, you never put dirty water back into the clean water. This is what we're doing. So we're gonna dump that in there. This one has been clean. We're gonna dump that back in there, and then as for the mouthpiece, I haven't. Which is what I like to do. Right? So put our brush aside. I get a little Q-tip. You can get a glob mop, whatever you like. I soak the Q-tip a little bit first, and then I'll let the Q-tip do its work inside here. Now, I don't know how much we're gonna find in here. Let's take a look. We'll find out together how much nastiness is in this. Not really that bad. Just a couple little pieces here and there. So you know it. All that nasty stuff is not really making it up to your lungs. That's how you can. At least that's how I can tell. Nothing, right? So easy. Dump it into clean water, clean alcohol. Get your screen. If you get the brush, knock it out. There's going to be a lot of little particulates that are left inside of the screen, so you're going to want to rinse them off a little bit and kind of take a look at it. Dump it back in the clean one. These little caps, these things don't even get dirty, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Those things are really, unless you're really nasty and haven't cleaned it for a year or something, it's not really gonna get nasty. This here, none of this is kind of perfectly clean too. Now this seal, like I said, nothing, perfect. Put it in the clean water. Now, let me see if I can show you this right here. Look at all that nasty. I know we have a reflection. Sorry about the reflection, but it is pretty gross. Look at that. So a lot of stuff came out of it, but it's easy to clean. Once you get all of this stuff out of here, make sure you don't drop this stuff anywhere. Don't drop that shit. Dump it out in a garbage can. You know, bring it back. Get your pieces out. The ones that are all clean, leave them outside to rinse. Once they're done rinsing, it's a matter of just walking the steps backwards. It's really simple to walk this setup backwards. Like 5 or 6 little pieces to put on. And that's it. That's how easy the cleaning is. Don't be too intimidated. As far as the mouthpiece, sorry, the glass adapter goes, same thing. I dump it in. This one here doesn't get it dirty at all. But what I like to do with this one is I get a slipper mop, right? Same deal. Get it soaked up, put it in, and that'll knock out the back. So this is the cool part, right? So you have this tube non-bendy tubes. When you put it in glass, it's not gonna bend the glass and break the glass, so it stays straight up. That's what's inside the silicone. And then you have your little filter. Now, this in here, nasty. Look at that thing. Maybe you can see that. Maybe you can see that a little bit here and there. Look how gross. That one here is pretty gross inside. So let's get a little clean going in there. Dump it in. This one might take a little more because this has been disgusting. Look at that. But it comes off easily, man. That's the good thing about this. About we cleaning with alcohol and weed and stuff. That it's nothing really sticks to this stuff. It all comes off really easily. Unless you've left it for years cooking out in the sun or something, you know. But that's it. That sucker's clean. Put it in the rinse. Take it out. Look at that. Look how nasty that thing is. But that's what we get for smoking, right? Once that's done, all you're gonna do is pop it right back in. Easy enough. Get your screen. And that's it. Your screen is done. Now let it dry. I usually give this about, 10-15 minutes with under a fan or something, under the air. Once it dries up, we're gonna come back, put it all back together, and then we're gonna keep on with the video. See you guys in a minute. All right, we're back. Everything is dry. Let's get this thing back set up easily. Now, one thing before we talk about this. Now, once you get it dried up and you let it sit for a little bit, let it dry, you might notice that there's going to be maybe here and there, you might see a little bit of dry weed here and there. Get your brush. It comes right off. Just knock it right off. But there is one little secret hidden little area that I want you to keep an eye on. It's right here, right behind here. It's like a little tunnel system that you can see right there. Like a little, you know what I'm saying, right there. That path right here, when you go in, goes into your airway. This in here can still, see, there it goes. This still has some dry weed just because your brush doesn't really knock it out in. So take a little extra time in this little part and get in there really good. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it for sure. So, boom. Cleaned up. Now we go. Now we can set it back up. First things first, let's put the little seal back on. It just fits right on. There's no give. This thing is really, it's not a strong, like a really tight seal. Just got to make sure that it lines up, that the lines light up for you. Make sure the lines are all facing you. Don't let them bend over. Boom, perfect, ready to go. Get your little filter, pop it in the bottom. This is the filter that stands. Just pop this on the back. If you need to pop it out, just pop it out the back. Boom. Grab it. Now, it comes with extra filters in the box. I like to kind of almost flatten it out a bit. The way it gets a little bit of pressure going in there. You don't want it to be bent all the way. But once it's in, you're good. Get your flat screen and put it in here. You'll see right there, there's a little lines that go on each side. You're gonna want to go in there and just drop it in. It lines up easily. After that, now we're starting to actually put the actual device back together. So you'll see, line up your pathways, line up your, goes in perfectly. If you want, you can get this, put it on your device, and then use the actual device to actually push it in. That way you're not fiddling with it. You know it fits perfectly. After it's in here, it's just a matter of putting your first cap on, getting the back of it, lining it up, making sure it's perfect. Getting your, if you want, you can actually go in here and take out the seal and clean under it. I've never found this thing dirty yet. Maybe eventually one day, but for now, nothing. You don't even gotta do much to line this thing up. Grab your 3, basically everybody's working on 3. Pop it in. You'll see it only goes in one way. You'll see that right there. It only gonna go in one way. It's with a little tab on top right there. Pop it in. Actually, this is pretty interesting. Why isn't that going in? Yeah, we're gonna find out together. Let's actually take it out and see what's going on. Put the cap on already. All right, here we go. For some reason, it doesn't want to open. We'll figure it out together, right? Let's see what's going on. Pop the cap off. Let's find out what's holding this back. So we know it goes in. All right. So we gotta make sure this little thing here is facing out, right? You're gonna see it says top. Has a little direction. That's the one we want to go into the back. Keep that there. Now we're set. Now it works perfect. Put the cap back on, grab it, and tighten it. Pop your mouthpiece on. All right, pop your mouthpiece on. Make sure that it's, you know, nice and movable. Make sure your airway path works. And that's it. As simple as that. To clean it. Now, first tip. If you want, grab a tiny bit of alcohol. We're talking about if this is the mop. Actually, I'm not gonna use that. If this is a Q-tip, you're gonna just basically the tip, tiny bit. You don't want to be soaked. You want to be just a little bit, and then you're gonna use this to clean out. Not the steel. You can use this on the actual bucket itself, but I like to clean the outer rim of it a little bit because this really doesn't get that dirty. But I go in here a little bit. I don't push down on this screen at all. I don't even touch that screen, to be honest with you, unless I'm using this to clean out, you know, after every bowl. But as far as pressure, nothing. Just kind of like clean the lip a little bit, and you're done. Now, if you guys want to if you haven't watched the other video, the actual full review, check it out. Listen, I'm giving away these stands. These stands are clutch, man. They just snap into the bottom. Your Venty just stands straight up. If you want one of these, watch the other video. Leave a comment in the description if you want one of these, and you guys can win one of those. I'm probably gonna give you away about 3 of those, but anyways, that's how easy it is. That's how you clean the Venty. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.